Hello and welcome to another how-to video. My name's Ditech, CTO at DVS, and before you go any further, please hit the like and subscribe button on the YouTube channel, leave the commentary, share as you need, and follow us on our other social media platforms where you will find competitions, giveaways, and we'll even share your content. So what are we going to take a look at today? Well, an interesting one because we've had a lot of feedback from a small little video I did before Christmas on the AX Pro. So the AX Pro, which is Hikvision's wireless grade 2 PD 6662 certified alarm system, traditionally it'd be wired in to a main supply, and there is still going to be a very large percentage of installs that will still require the mains supply fitted in a domestic or a small commercial property where you're going to have a constant supply. But interestingly, there's also another market where we can really add value by adding this product. Things like caravans, boats, temporary site solutions, sites with no power, vacant properties, etc., where you don't have a main supply because the typical installation type doesn't lend itself to have a main supply, especially caravans, etc. But you still want to offer some protection to that. Now, again, if there is no property, if there is no mains at the property, we can use this 12-volt converter module. So I'm going to show you how you fit this within the panel. It is a manual process. You do need to take a board out of this and fit this 12-volt board retrospectively, but it's a very simple job to do. It does come with a set of instructions which tells you how to do it, but I'm going to walk you through this process. So this becomes a completely wireless solution. Another advantage this has is on the back plate, there's a back mounting plate. Let's just remove this. He says, I don't have any nails. I need to remove the screws here. Bear with. Should have prepped this before really, shouldn't I? So, we're going to remove that mains cord, and you'll see 4 screws that keeps this case together. So I'm going to take it apart and change this board, which will also give you a sneaky glimpse into the electronic componentry inside. So, another good advantage with going completely low voltage. So if you need to put this on a site, but you still want those alarm notifications, so you may need it remotely monitored by an ARC, an ARC, or you may want to have those phone notifications. Now, if you don't have a Wi-Fi connection that you can link this to on a low voltage site, like a caravan, a boat, a temporary site, vacant property, etc., you can use the SIM card. So if you buy the model with the SIM card capability, you can fit a mobile SIM card in there, and we've partnered with CSL actually. So CSL and Hikvision are delivering a SIM card. DVS have got these in stock, very low cost, a few pounds every month. Insert a SIM card into this and that will give you full autonomy, and you don't even need to rely on a Wi-Fi signal or the premise of people changing their Wi-Fi continually, and you need to go back to site. That's another advantage of it. And also as a backup, so if it does have Wi-Fi and that goes down, this SIM card is another remote signaling source. But very crucial, if you're on a site with low voltage, fit the SIM card in there. Buy the CSR one that we've partnered with, then we keep in stock. Insert that in there and you will get a full autonomous wireless system with low voltage. So there's another really great advantage of this solution. All of the end devices that connect to this are already battery powered. In fact, this is the only product in the family that up until now required a mains connection. By fitting this 12-volt board and using a typical 12-volt battery, so the bigger the battery, the longer the source will last. So if it's only a very temporary site, use the 7-amp one. If it's a longer site, use the 17-amp one, or you can keep going 32-amp, or you can provide a much bigger, 32, 240-amp, whatever, depending on how long you want it to run, and even connect it up to a solar to charge the batteries to keep that longevity. So you can effectively make it infinitely low voltage powered. So it's up to you on how you do this, but for purposes of the demonstration, we're just going to use a simple battery taken out of a fire alarm and connect it up just to show you this working. So in essence, this is a very simple job. So all you need is a couple of brain cells, a selection of screwdrivers, which every engineer will have. Simply remove the back plate and expose the 4 case screws, and I'll transfer the camera to show you this in a much more efficient way. So give me 2 seconds. Actually, I'm just gonna jump back 1 step because I can't do this video justice without actually showing the CSL SIM card package. So this is what it comes in. So CSL World SIM with the DVS branding on it. I'll just take it closer so you can see. Effectively, DVS there. SIM card in the back with the details on the SIM card. Effectively, these are free issue. So we keep these in stock at DVS. Speak to your sales rep and get that added to your order. And simply take the SIM card out, insert it into the product. Now these are designed exclusively for the AX Pro solution. So if you do buy this and use it in another product, then the likelihood it will probably work. But this is absolutely for the Hikvision AX Pro. That's the market that we're pushing into. All the instructions are on the back there, and you simply activate it by the portal. So you go to our DVS CSL portal, activate the SIM card, and then set up the monthly recurring charge. Very simple to do, and it's all in one packet, all the instructions. Anyone can do that. So there we go. That's the CSL SIM card I mentioned earlier in the video. It was important that I showed you that. In stock now. Get your hands on them. Speak to your sales rep. Okay, back to the video. Okay, so we got everything laid out on our test bench here. It's actually our podcasting bench, but there we go. Battery there, 12 volt PSU in here, converter board. Now I've already taken off the back mounting plate. So the back mounting plate is secured by 2 screws. So once this is fitted to the panel, it's actually securely screwed in to stop the panel being dislodged. So we'll put that to the side. Here are the instructions. Simply follow the instructions here. Now, when we take the board out itself, it's in an anti-static packet. Simply remove the board from the packet. Now you can see that it'll come with a terminal jack. So you can either plug a 12 volt supply directly into there, if it's a 12 volt supply, you know, the one with a jack plug on there, or you can keep the jack plug in there and simply connect in the terminals there, which we'll choose to do on this occasion. Okay, so removing the board itself, just simply remove these 4 screws, and obviously make sure you keep them safe. Not like what you just did and throw it halfway across the table. Make sure you turn the panel off as well. The internal battery is disconnected. Okay. Simply separate the 2 pieces. Now this normally comes apart quite easily. And you can see that there's the tag reader. So this is the version with the tag reader. So you can see the contactless, well, it makes contact with the board obviously, but there's the actual inbuilt tag reader. Now, the main board itself, we need to separate another couple of screws, and they're located in the corners here. I think I'm gonna need to go and get my little screwdriver for this. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, so I have the right screwdriver now, which is always helpful. Just bear in mind these are quite fragile, so be careful. Don't put any pressure on the board. Remove these retaining screws for the board. Don't stab it like I just did. And keep them securely to the side. So there's one there, one in the corner here. One here, so that's 3. And one here as well, so that's 4. So there may become a point in the not too distant future where they actually supply this with the 12 volt board, but for now we need to do this change ourselves. I'm just being careful that I don't damage anything when I'm removing this board here. This is the actual power insert here, so effectively we change this for this, yeah? So this one here replaces this board here. And the connection is actually here between the two. So I'm just simply leveraging this up, and I'll disconnect the board. Simply put a little bit of pressure in between there. There we go, so that's out. This is the old board with the mains filter etc. built in, and obviously the connector, and now we simply need to fit this board in its place. So same orientation, you can see the pin connectors that effectively it goes inverted like that, and the pin connectors will go on there. So I'm going to remove this connector, so remove that before fitting it, and it really is as simple as locating this into here, push these two, so lift up the corner of the board here, push the push fit connector in, and make sure the pins are orientated, which they are. Push them in, make sure they marry up, and then secure this board in its place, except I didn't do that properly. Need a little bit more leverage under there to ensure the connection. It is a little bit fiddly, I'll admit. The trick is, I guess, not to put too much pressure on there at the time of fitting, and there we go, in. And then simply click all those back in. Now, it is important that you do remove the retaining screws on the main board, because you need to leverage that out to get that behind. Sorry. So yeah, that is now the replacement board, and if you look on the rear, you can see there, hopefully you've got that low voltage connection there. So we'll just click it in now. That's fitted. Everything is located. Now, you need to reverse engineer this by putting the screws back in. So remember the orientation. And I'm a bugger for this. Probably do need that one. And tighten them down. Make sure all the screws are now refitted. This is actually the first one I've done where I've had to take this apart, you know, for the purposes of a video as well. So I was trying to be delicate, not rush it. Generally speaking, it's a very easy process, and one that I would complete in a much more timely manner. Generally, fit that one there. Like anything, if you have a screw left over, go and check all of the holes. We know that happens a lot. There we go, make sure they're all tighten down, and that's it, done. Okay, so the board is now fitted, the battery stays connected, internal battery, so in the event of power loss the internal battery will still keep this product running, but you can see the general layout of the board. You don't need to physically remove this any further, but you can also see the contacts here which allow the card reader or the tag reader to make contact. So those two pins there marry up with these two pins here. Quite simple design really. And now it's a case of fitting this back onto the panel. So it does go this way round. You can see the speaker holes that are cut into the actual front panel lid marry up with that speaker there. So as long as it's that way round, it's simple as fit that back together, refit the retaining screws. There we go, simple, simple, simple. Insert your CSL SIM card in there, because obviously you're gonna really, and keep this safe. Put that in that original packet that you use for that, keep it safe, because at some point in your life you'll probably want to convert it back to a main supply. Now, it's simply, I can either fit this jack, so I can place the jack in there and wire that battery into there, straight into there like that, or I can get a 12 volt supply and just connect that straight into there. So it's either really, which is best for me. Let me just have a quick look. Okay, so apologies, I'm gonna put that back there so you can see. So effectively we have got a 12 volt supply. I've just plugged it in rather than take the lead off that battery because I need that battery for something else. But I've just plugged a simple 12 volt supply in, so you can see there's the jack connected to the 12 volt supply. I'm going to connect it in to the power jack there, and there's the on off switch there. Turn that to on, panel comes on, you can see the green light on there, and that will be ready for commissioning. So that is a very simple way, and obviously then this guard will go on the back and mount that to the wall. A very simple and effective way to turn the AX Pro system into a low voltage solution. Tons and tons of benefits, like I said already. For the, so you can see the podcast and equipment, apologies, don't have enough budget to have my own workbench. I'm not Adam Savage, but hopefully one day I will get there, tested. So there you go. Nice little reference for you. So if you want to convert this to a 12 volt supply for the likes of the caravans, mobile homes, temporary accommodation, temporary sites, vacant property is a big one in the UK. That's how you do it. Provide the 12 volt supply from anything from, you know, a big leisure battery all the way up to a solar powered solution to give this an indefinite runtime. All the peripherals are already battery powered, and then this becomes a very low voltage deployable system. So one thing I will show you is we're ready to go with this now. So one thing I will show you is these are all the peripherals. So here you've got like the color view PIRs, the normal PIR, brake glass sensors, dual techs, wireless keypads, wireless tag readers, wireless sounders, wireless temperature and humidity, shock sensors, brake glass and PIR, brake glass and contact, panic buttons, 360 internal PIR, door contacts, slimline door contacts, external shutter contacts, all sorts of stuff. You know the drill. And basically, yeah, that's it. So from me to you, that's my little parting gift to you. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave any comments you can. We'll see you next week for a how-to video. Bye for now.